Ladies and gentlemen, share this segment everywhere because there are two people that you need to thank. There are two people that you need to thank when it all goes down. It's going down right now, but when Clinton eventually gets indicted and you see James Comey, Peter Strzok, Andrew McCabe, other people indicted under U.S. Code 18 U.S. Code 371 and other legal statutes, James Comey, leaked classified memos. There are two people you have to thank. The first person is Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch and the people of Judicial Watch. So Tom Fitton, so numerous people, but Tom Fitton, you need to thank him and you need to subscribe to Judicial Watch right now. He's amazing. Tom Fitton is like the tip of the spear regarding all of this. When it all goes down, and it's going down right now, it'll be because of the work of Judicial Watch, especially Tom Fitton, who has been on top of this from day one. The next person you have to, in Congress, the next person you have to support and you have to just defend is Congressman Devin Nunes. Congressman Nunes is the man. He's awesome. He was at the forefront of the FISA debacle in 2017. He was the first person to say, hey, look, they lied to judges. Crime. So yesterday there was a pundit on the left who said, there's nothing illegal about anything. There was nothing illegal. Devin Nunes was the first person in Congress, one of the first people, if not the first, to say, hey, not only was this illegal, but it was a grandiose endeavor where numerous people conspired to utilize a Steele dossier that was purchased by Clinton, to utilize CrowdStrike information that was outsourced by Clinton and the Democratic Party in order to frame and set up President Trump. First, by spying on Carter Page and by lying to, deceiving, duping FISA judges. They did not tell the judges that opposition research paid for by Trump's political rival, so President Trump's political rival, when they say he's going after his enemies, oh my God. Well, that's exactly what they did. They went after their political rivals, and they utilized the FBI. The top brass at the FBI, Andrew McCabe's under criminal investigation, James Baker's under criminal investigation, agreed with me that Clinton should have been indicted, along with Lisa Page, who agreed with me that the indictments were imminent, and James Comey covered that up. But they lied to FISA judges. They lied to the judges. Once Carter Page was investigated for nonsense, notice how a lot of people, whether it's Carter Page or Papadopoulos or Flynn, they didn't do anything wrong. Papadopoulos, served 12 days in jail for lying to Peter Strzok? I mean, he could have fought that. But why fight that when he didn't know that the Mueller probe would just fizzle out? If you watch this channel, you knew that for 2 years we've been saying the same thing. Now everyone is H.A. Goodman. Now everyone is saying what I'm saying. But let's listen to Devin Nunes right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this, how many times do you hear me say you gotta defend a politician? I don't usually say that. I don't usually say defend this politician. Okay? This man is very courageous. And what they did to him on a much smaller scale, they tried to do to me. In 2016, they tried to silence me. It didn't work out. Daily Beast wrote a hit piece, a whole bunch of raw story. Oh, it just helps me. I have I have a million negative qualities, but I have something that Trump has also, and that is when people try to go after me, it doesn't work out for them, especially in media. And that, for some reason, that's been the case my whole life. But let's listen to Devin Nunes.
Taking a victory lap, I know better than anybody because we did this every Sunday on my Sunday morning futures program on Fox News, how you came out for 2 years and said, Maria, this is not true. This is a lie. This is what really happened. And you educated our viewers. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Maria. It was really critical to have a show like yours because we could go on Sunday morning and we could really talk to the American people with a large audience and be able to stay on a long time. And I think that made a big difference because we could get down into the details of what is now known as Russiagate fiasco. But you're right. I mean, we talked about this for many, well, I guess dating back to about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So thanks for making yourself available, and your show. You played a big part in getting to the bottom of all this.
Well,
but we're not finished yet, though.
Right.
I think we have to remember that.
I want to talk about that, and you're the reason, and John Ratcliffe is the reason that I was so sure of the story as well, and why I was able to communicate to viewers that there is a much bigger story. In fact, it's the biggest scandal of our time in terms of what the other side was trying to do to a duly elected president. Let's talk about what
We're getting to the nitty-gritty. And this is when Maria Bartiromo says this is the biggest scandal of our time. When Maria Bartiromo says this is the biggest scandal of our time, I hope you can hear this. I got new speakers. So generally, when I play back, the interviews, people can hear, but I hope you can hear this. But when Maria Bartiromo says this is the biggest scandal of our time, that's how I've been talking for 2 years. That's how other people have been describing this. So now everyone is basically, there are a whole bunch of H.A. Goodman's channels on Fox and on YouTube. But if you watch this channel for 2 years or more, you know. And to the people who have watched since 2015, God bless you. I love you, and thank you. And since 2016, 2017, if you've been watching me for a long time, thank you. And if you just tuned in, this channel is growing. Tell your friends, and thank you. So let's continue. It gets better, ladies and gentlemen. It does get better.
happens next now, Congressman, because there's a good op-ed today in the Journal basically saying, look, if Mueller did not look at the perpetrators, if you don't get to the perpetrators, the fact that they started an investigation into Donald Trump based on nothing, based on no predicate. So where does this go now? You are looking to make criminal referrals in the next week.
Yeah, so I would start with this. The mainstream media continues to ignore, I would say, the people who have been on the Russiagate fiasco for the entire time. I think they're listening. But what I've said, my major concern now is that the FBI and DOJ falsely claimed that this investigation didn't begin until late July. We now know for certain that that's not true. We're still trying to get to the bottom of that. Of course, there's still documents that need to come out. But we are prepared and are now drafting a criminal referral. As I think I said on your show a few weeks ago, we wanted to wait until the Mueller report came out so that we could just, if there was anything in there that might be of interest. But I think we're prepared now to at least submit our first criminal referral. We think it will grab everybody that we need to grab to make sure that there's a proper investigation done, or at least it's our referral over to DOJ. We can't force them to do an investigation, but we think we will give them the appropriate names and some of the crimes. There may be more that have been committed. And then as we continue to get more information, as more information comes to light, we may have to supplement that down the road. But
they're going to give the first criminal referral. So hopefully, actually, I turned up the volume. So hopefully they have like a soft-spoken cadence or tone, so both of them on this interview. But I turned up the volume, so hopefully you can hear what he just said. He is, and I spoke about this in a prior segment, he's going to submit criminal referrals this week. These are different from the criminal referrals already submitted in 2017 by DeSantis and a whole bunch of other people. That was valiant and that was great. This comes after Russiagate, the Mueller probe, has been absolutely, positively obliterated. They are now wallowing in despair in their own conspiracy purgatory, where they don't want to give up, but they know that they can't win, and they don't know what else, they don't know what to do. They have to continue the myth, but they have to move on. Ladies and gentlemen, they have nothing. They have absolutely, positively nothing. No collusion, no obstruction, no nothing. Devin Nunes is already going to file a criminal referral. So let's just continue this. And he's not done. So Nunes is he and Trey Gowdy were the people who wrote the GOP FISA memo summary. But Trey Gowdy has 1 foot in the establishment, 1 foot defending Trump in this country. Trey Gowdy is, Mr. Gosh, I don't want to be partisan, Mr. Hands Off, Mr. I'll just go as far as I can without seeming partisan. It's like, look, we already know that this was a complete and utter fabrication. Just go all in like Devin Nunes. Notice that Devin Nunes has been targeted by the Democratic Party and liberal media. So therefore, I urge everyone to support this man. And I don't usually say something like that about a politician. I don't even really say that about President Trump, even though I'm voting for Trump 2020. I don't usually say, hey, support this politician. Now, I did, when I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, I did, yeah. The Huffington Post called me that. The Washington Post called me the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters. But then when he was cheated, and his voters were cheated of $200 million, defrauded of $200 million, and he failed to talk about the DNC fraud lawsuit, and he pumped and pushed and spewed a Trump-Russia myth that implicated him and Jill Stein as Russian ploys to hurt poor Hillary Clinton at the expense of a hostile foreign power. That President Obama he didn't veto the sale, I wonder why, of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. So, Devin Nunes is this guy is a man that in Congress has taken the heat. He'll be vindicated. He's courageous, and he's been right. There's nothing that Devin Nunes has stated that isn't right, that hasn't been proven. When the history of this time period is written, Congressman Devin Nunes will be one of the people that is one of the heroes of all of this, in addition to Tom Fitton and other people. But I urge everyone to support Congressman Devin Nunes. He's awesome, and let's continue with this.
But we think by the end of next week, we'll have this out.
Well, why do you think people miss this so much? Let's go back and talk about what went on here, Congressman, because the FBI started investigating Donald Trump as early as the end of 2015, right? And into 2016, they put informants in there. They really tried to trip him up as much as they could as they were watching him connect with the American people.
That's right. I would say this about what some of the biggest challenges that we had is because they used our counterintelligence capabilities, these secret capabilities that are really only supposed to be used to go after terrorists and other bad guys. They actually turned it on a political campaign, and that's where they first went wrong. Now, my estimation is they used what's called counterintelligence because they could keep it siloed and hidden from the American people and from the rest of FBI and DOJ. That's why they used the counterintelligence.
They used the counterintelligence department that Peter Strzok was number 2 in. When he was talking to his mistress, he was saying, "Oh, I'm the number 2 in the counterintelligence, lover. I'm the number 2. I'm the lumberjack. We'll stop Trump," because Lisa Page was like, "He's not going to become president, right? Right?" And he's like, "No, it'll stop him, honey bunny." And that didn't work out well for either of them. Definitely not Strzok. Strzok is part of, he conspired along with Andrew McCabe and James Comey. Look, how many things has President Trump stated? How many things have taken place that if you watch this channel, I have the pulse of what's going on. Forget about predictions. Like, I'm stupid. I spend too much time saying, I did this, I did that, or I predicted this. Predictions it doesn't matter. If you watch this channel, you know the pulse of what's going on. Like, everything's taking place. And if you watch this channel, you know, hey, people are saying the things that I've been saying, that I've been reporting. And I appreciate the kind words because people, appreciate that they've just been saying the most wonderful things. And I thank you for that. But they used counterintelligence because then they could say, well, it's an ongoing investigation. They can go in front of the Congress. Rod Rosenstein, James Comey, Peter Strzok. How many times have you heard, it's an ongoing investigation? Andrew McCabe, it's an ongoing investigation. It's an ongoing, I can't divulge that. They're hiding behind, look, they were hiding behind an investigation that they fabricated. Why? They fabricated an investigation simply to target and to get Trump under the guise of national security. But Facebook ads aren't national security. They don't even know. The FBI is highly confident. The NSA is moderately confident. They are not certain that the DNC was hacked. That's not my take on it. That's fact. It is one. I don't care what the consensus is. I keep on hearing this consensus nonsense. If you have 20 people that say LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, I don't care. I think that Michael Jordan's better. I don't care about your opinion. What do I care about your opinion? I don't care. If you had 1,000 people that said to me LeBron James was better than Michael Jordan, I wouldn't care. If the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, if Clapper, Brennan, Comey, Strzok, McCabe, all of the corrupt criminals said that LeBron James was better than Michael Jordan, I would say, nah, I don't care. That's my viewpoint. I think Michael Jordan's better. Again, we're talking about opinions here. The intelligence community has an assessment, which is an opinion. They're not dealing with facts. So when people say, "Oh, well, it's common knowledge that there's a consensus, an ironclad consensus that Russia hacked the DNC and interfered in the election," an ironclad, 100% categorical consensus of people who have an opinion that they're not certain of. They're only confident of. So there's no certainty. The only certainty is that they're not certain, but they feel a certain way. That's it. The FBI is highly confident, and they've utilized CrowdStrike and a Steele dossier to fabricate a myth. Nobody knows that the DNC was hacked. We're relying on a third-party tech firm that was outsourced by Democrats and Clinton. Let's continue. Devin Nunes.
They opened up a counterintelligence investigation into the Trump campaign because they could use these secret capabilities. Then, of course, we all know the story about how they went and they went to the FISA court. They misled the FISA court, lied to the FISA court in order to get a warrant on a Trump campaign associate so that they then could get a bunch of emails and phone calls and records into the campaign. I'm really just unprecedented. If you go back a year ago, the fact that anyone over at FBI or DOJ would think it's okay to run one informant, 20 informants, whatever the number is, into a political campaign under a counterintelligence investigation is out of their mind, and it's DOJ run amok. Yeah. Anyone who thinks that...
Everyone knows. Do you understand? Everyone knows now. The cat's out of the bag. They spilled the beans. They all know. There is no question mark now. The only people who are keeping hope alive regarding it being legal are partisans who think it's absolutely normal that opposition research is used to start an investigation. It's never been done. This is the first time in history that opposition research paid for by Clinton has started an investigation. Could you imagine the eternal outrage if Trump purchased a document and that led to an investigation of Clinton? Oh my God. She's running again, by the way. Let's continue.
They can take U.S. taxpayer dollars and pay people in the campaign in order to get information. That's DOJ and FBI run amok. Congress should not tolerate it. American people should not tolerate it. The Democrats should not tolerate it. But in all of this, the biggest culprit has been the mainstream media. Mm-hmm. The mainstream media nonstop was reporting on this phony issue, taking garbage, and they were in on it from the beginning. Let's not forget, there were many people in the media who were involved in this from the very beginning. They were working directly with the Clinton Fusion GPS, the Clinton campaign arm, the dirty ops arm of the Clinton campaign, many people in the media were working.
If there are journalists out there or people out there on the left, and there are a couple amazing people who were in on this from the beginning, but if they didn't bring up Madam Cyberhack, they shouldn't pat themselves on the back. They don't deserve you don't deserve a pat if you just said, well, I don't think this is true, because it doesn't make any sense, man. No, sorry. If you didn't say the words Hillary Clinton, if you didn't say this all stems from Madam Secretary, Madam Cyberhack, sorry. You don't deserve that much credit. Especially, there are people on the left, look, the main reason people didn't like me when I was on the left is because I called out the prime culprit, the actual criminal, which was Madam Cyberhack. I called her out every chance I could. They didn't like that. Too close to home. So they were like, well, this guy is going to hurt the election. Well, I said she couldn't win in 2015. She didn't. But anyway, let's continue.
Working directly with them, they've known for a long time that dossier existed, and there's no one, none of the major media organizations would go with the dossier information because it was so salacious.
Right.
Now, why do I say salacious? Because that was the former FBI director's term for it.
Yeah, he said it was Jim Comey said it was unverified and salacious. That's absolutely right.
Yeah, so if you go back and look at this, how is it possible you have something so salacious? You have the most powerful investigative unit in the world, which would be our counterintelligence capabilities with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And you're telling me that you get a dossier, and I've looked at lots of intelligence reports over the years. When I first saw that dossier, what a joke. Nobody would believe that. That's why the New York Times and Washington Post wouldn't run that dossier.
Yeah.
Congressman Devin Nunes, God bless you. You are the man. And I'll go so far as to say this. If you want to support somebody, support someone's campaign, whatever, just go to his website, Future Campaign, or whatever. He is absolutely fantastic. When it all goes down, it'll be his criminal referrals to start everything, at least in Congress. So he's just an amazing congressman. Very proud to have him in California. Not my district, but he's amazing. I'm starting a website, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to love it. If you want to defeat any family member, any friend, any liberal that you know that you just goes into another zone, melts down, whether he or she says Trump is a racist, or Trump's wall is immoral, or Trump's shouldn't bring up Clinton's emails or Uranium One or whatever, this website will provide you links to reputable sources, CNN, MSNBC. You might not think they are, but your opponents debating will. New York Times, Washington Post, and you can actually print out, I'll explain exactly. So it'll be like, there'll be one tab, Trump is a racist, and I'll give you all the reasons why. Signed prison reform, record low Black and Latino unemployment. You could compare that statement, that allegation, with everything Clinton has stated before. Okay, so I'll put Clinton's past and compare it to Trump. We can go on forever. It's a great, great website. It's going to be up in late May. Trump's economy, a million times better than President Obama's economy. All this. Trump's foreign policy. Moon Jae-in, most people don't know, has stated, this is the South Korean president, has stated that President Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. That was in numerous articles, Associated Press. So I'll give you the Reuters, the Associated Press links, and you'll be able to form an argument and actually print out material and say, here you go, wrong, he said this, he called an African nation this, no, wrong, that's according to sources, no proof, and oh, by the way, President Obama destroyed Libya, here's the proof, military intervention, all this. So you'll love the website. It'll be very, very useful for you, especially if you just, know people who just are like rabid. Hit subscribe to this channel, but also to HA2A, that's below, is my firearms channel, Glock 29, 10mm, and also my writing. Please share that everywhere in the in the Federalist, the Daily Caller, and the Jerusalem Post. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you, and God bless Congressman Devin Nunes. when it all goes down and Comey and Strzok and McCabe get indicted, it'll be because of Devin Nunes. Thank you.